give it a bit wriggle. Basically, say it every morning, you knock food.
Morning! That was upbeat, wasn't it? So, someone asked me the other day about the biomass boiler. So, I thought I would just show you how unspectacular it actually is. So, this boiler is an Ariturm 60 Plus. It's called, if you fancied having a research, it looks like this. It's basically a box. Can you see the grate at the bottom? And then the wood, solid wood, rolls down. The fire's lit at the bottom. Then show you. It basically then, the smoke comes in here, swirls round in a circle, creates some kind of strange vortex, goes down here, up here, through these crazy honeycombs in the back, and that is how it heats its hot water and out of the chimney. So what we put on it. So these here to light it. These are roofing lats that came off the shed next to the handling system. You might have seen me, you might not have seen me taking them off. They were just to improve ventilation, and we took a whole shed side off. These are our kindling for now. We use about a barrow a day of this. This is from Oddendale, which is 7 or 8 miles away, quite local. We do lop and top all our own. So whilst other people have had colossal heating bills this year, we haven't. We are so fortunate in that respect. We have, however, had colossal electricity bills. You were never a winner, you were born to lose. So the boiler is on. The children will be warm tonight. Do you know, forever and a day, like probably 10 years, I cut the strings on the wrong side, annoyingly, and then found it really hard to pull the knots through the bale. And then you may have noticed, you may not have noticed though, equally, we feed all our young stock straw. Random choice, I know. We used to feed everything with hay, and they always used to be quite pot-bellied. Never anything really wrong with them, but then we went to pick some calves up from Chaz, a friend of ours, and he said, hay is for horses. Keep it in your barn, and we've just given it to Forage Aid anyway. Feed your calves on straw, they always do better, and they have done better. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not terrible, and we don't need anything quite as excessive as Joe with his 9 metre. A 6 metre would do. Straw is for calves, they love it. As well, you know the poorly calf the other day that just got taken away by the knacker man that I was telling you about? They were on silage. They're now on a mix of straw and silage. But yeah, they were obviously they're at the grown-up spot, so they're on silage. I don't think it did it any good, actually. What are your opinions on, you know, calves, silage, straw, that kind of thing? It's interesting. We would have never, ever, ever before this year getting these animals here have considered feeding anything other than hay, to be honest. But yeah, they are loving the straw. Obviously these guys are going to need to clear out of here pretty sharpish though, to be honest, because as you know, it is the handling system and we need to use it. Like we said, it costs back in the day, and I mean back in the day, the actual, just the handling system on its own, the kit was just under 9 grand, I think, something like that. Don't get me wrong there, it'll be a hell of a lot more now. It is an IEE right hand sweeper gate thing. It's great, it's all right. The metal's not the thickest, I will admit. We have 2 crushes, identical. That one there and the one at Chapel Hill. The one at Chapel Hill is 10 years older, and I will tell you the quality difference is remarkable when you put them side by side. You can't deny it or make it up. It just is what it is. Like even the thickness of the steel that they've used is completely different. But it's just a sign of the times, isn't it? Everyone's cheapening down. The crush was extra. You don't get that in the kit. You've just got to buy that. And then the associated works with it, concrete, labour, etc., were about 4 grand. And then, like just this last year, we've decided to put a roof on. This roof here It was about 13 grand to put on. I don't mind telling you, it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's made a hell of a difference to us, to be honest. There is some videos of us working, TB testing in the pouring rain, miserable as sin. This bit, all of this collection area didn't exist at all. They had to come out of here and run in, and it was a pain to get them to run in. They just never wanted to do it. So it was still quite a stressful situation moving cattle around, especially for me, because I'm a bit of a wimp, to be fair, and anything different I tend to, you know what I mean, it's just can't help it, it's just who I am. Now it's great. The gates open both ways, so you can direct cattle in from both ends. There's a massive holding pen, so once you get them in there, they're not going to run back out on you because it's gated. There's me talking about, like, literally, oh yeah, look at me using handling systems. I'm such a girl. I'm cowgirl. Woo! And I can't even open a knife because my nails keep breaking. The irony is not lost on me. I've done it. This building here that I am cutting a bale of straw in the feeder is just full of baby calves like these. Wonderful things. The poorly calf, do you remember the poorly calf that was down here that couldn't get up? It's absolutely fine now. Here. Absolutely stunning, lovely, well done calf. And a cow. This cow here, she had to have assistance calving. Very cheeky. Bulling in the shed the other week and causing an absolute outrageous stir, and they were all going crazy. It was just a pain in the ass. So we pulled her out, we shoved her in here just as a oh god, stopgap kind of thing to stop her or anyone else getting hurt. She's actually on feed now, and she's looking brilliant. Better than she ever has done, to be honest. She's always been a bit of a skinny mini. She's been tested for all sorts of things. There's nothing wrong with her. She just is that way inclined. There was a couple from the same bull that came from a dairy farm, and they were all very much skinny little things. Anywho, when she was calving, she had to have veterinary assistance. It wasn't that her pelvis was too tight. It was the skin on her hoo-ha. Still social media. The skin on her hoo-ha was too tight, so she had to have a cut. But then obviously as it's healed, it's actually healed a little bit too much, and the bull can't get it, how do I say? The bull can't get it in. If I say it in an accent, will they not ban me? Yeah, she's got now a dodgy shaped flu. Oh, the bull can't impregnate her, which is absolutely rubbish because actually she's a decent cow. But as you can see, she has a nose ring in. Now she is another viral sensation. She was stealing milk off a cow in there that was due to give birth, and I pulled her out and put a nose ring in her, and I put it to the sound, this is a hate crime, or this is not a hate crime, I am the victim of a hate crime, and then someone says that's not a hate crime, it's an American thing. Anyway, it was a viral sound on TikTok. I put it to that, and it got seen like 5 million times, which was just incredible. But the fact still remains, she has a nose ring in and she's a pain in the ass. Later today, we're going to use the stock box for the first time, and we're going to take that cow there and put her in a pen with a more appropriate age group, because although she's doing well in here, these guys don't really need a big cow knocking about and pushing them out the way for the food. Wrapping up because I'm away tomorrow. I'm off on my jollies to the Agri-Leader Forum in Stratford-upon-Avon. Me, Ollie, Joe Seals, Gina, Charlie Farms, not to forget Becca. We are all getting together and doing a live streaming at 7 p.m. on YouTube and all social media channels, so make sure you tune in, it could be interesting. Me and Roy are trying to do double the amount of work today so that it's a bit easier for him tomorrow, and then obviously I'm away for 2 nights. The day after he's going to have to get someone to come in and help us, so I don't want you to think that it's easy for us to just go swanning off places. No, it actually isn't. We're having to get someone in to help when I go anywhere. turn it off, shouldn't I? The big paddles go round like this, or like that, and they throw the silage into this long chamber here, and there's an Archimedes screw in there which pulls it, very much like if you looked at Ollie's combine. It's the same thing, like the header. It pulls it all the way to the front and drops it out. From the screw bit on the side, it's like a muck spreader, side spreader. It's just so simple. Just mucking out this shed. Get back. No, they're misbehaving. A man called Paul Mackey on the YouTube comments yesterday has mentioned about neospora in silage. Oh, incoming! So, neospora, right. We had 2 cows with it. They aborted their calves. And consequently, the cows were then culled. That was it. That was the end of it. It was a no-win situation at all. So, what happens is, an infected animal drops its afterbirth, whether it be in a shed, in a field, whatever, right? A fox or a dog. A fox or a dog. The infected afterbirth is consumed by the animal. Then it is expelled in their feces, which then obviously sometimes can land on a silage field. It gets baled up or forage harvested or whatever and put in a silage pit. It then becomes infected silage. Usually a farm dog that's around calving, eats the afterbirth. Now, I am not saying it isn't the pet poodle from the local village. I'm not saying that. I'm 100%, that'll do, against people letting the dogs off in your fields, chasing sheep, not picking up the dog. Honestly, I am so against it, but I don't think spreading slight misinformation about things like that is helpful. Not worming your dogs does not have any impact on whether or not they carry neospora. It is so important to keep your dogs on leads and pick up your dog. Honestly, it really is. It really is anyway. No one wants contaminated silage. As I was talking last night, that's why we trap moles, because I can see why people get really cross. And I also got really cross until I found out the proper information and went and learnt myself. People who post on social media and have any kind of platform, I believe we do have to be responsible with what we put out there, because a lot of people are seeing it and it's hard to take things back. We are doing everything here today, as we don't want a lot to do tomorrow morning before I go, and it needs to be, sorry you can't even see me, it needs to be as easy as possible for when I'm away for Roy. I do feel terribly guilty for going anywhere, if I'm honest. You always feel like you're leaving someone all the work to do. Well, I am, technically, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm leaving someone all the work to do. It's a crappy feeling. We are using the new stock box for the first time. It's exciting. Here are coming with us. These are 4 bullocks, and then we also want the cow that I was talking about this morning out. Baby guys. Right around. Go on. Hut time, kids, one at a time. I'm gonna doze them before we put them where they need to be. Let me do you a very, very educational video very quickly, right? So on your bottle of Trojacks, did you know, because it took me 10 years to find out, that there is a handle? Did you know that? Obviously, watch the fight break out. I was here, that one there and that one there. The corresponding ear tag numbers. It was like a really poor batch of semen. Went onto a dairy farm that we used to buy our cows off. And they're just both really poor mums. Not a lot of milk, really skinny. Yeah, cross-suckling. Like literally, they cross-suckled when they were babies, and then literally they've been a right poor show, them two cows. A few more up to worm. This video is getting really long. I'm really sorry. Dusted. The boys are in the shed. Worm deloused. Boys just washing the trailer. It's amazing how much mess like one load of cows make. It's just crazy. Wynn's a bigger helicopter fan than Joe and Ollie. That's a joke. He hates them and barks every time they go over. Right, guys, I'm gonna leave the video here. I've honestly got so much on. But yeah, thanks for watching. Love you long time. See you tomorrow.